Hey everybody, thanks for playing World of Tanks and thanks for taking a look at this World of Tanks video. The game is hard and sometimes it's actually a good idea to just kind of fall back, if you will. So this video here is going to depict an example of kind of a common player, and that's me. I don't really identify as a particularly good player. I don't think anybody would say that. So I'll just say a common player, figuring out when is a good time to fall back for team support, to relocate, kind of get out of harm's way and move back to the safety of team support. You see here this light tank came up. I switched to the short range circular mini map there from the usual square broad map overview that I normally use, and there I've switched back. So yeah, I had a sense here that these guys were going for our artillery, so I hurried down here trying to fight them off. Spähpanzer's pretty fast, pretty big derpy gun, and there you see, managed to get rid of our artillery. And here, really quick reload for the Spähpanzer. Maybe it's not quite the fullest package or something. Some kind of an explosive-ish round there. Maybe armor penetration round, but killed my driver. Took my driver out pretty early on in the match. And for a light tank, driver mobility, well, as far as I'm concerned, for any tank, mobility is a big factor. They give these vehicles engines and tracks for a reason. So it's kind of frustrating early on. Anyway, going back, we're fighting for that middle capture point there. Fortunately, it's right in the middle, so it's hard to just avoid it. And on counter map, sometimes that happens. If it's off to one side, your team will fight for the opposite side of the map, and at that point pretty easily lose to capture. That's kind of frustrating. If I'd have just aimed to the left and down a little bit, I probably would have damaged the ammo rack of that Centurion right there. Instead I was two frustrating shots. Anyway, so we're fighting for this kind of north-south running central ridge here. It's a natural I don't know how to put it, but a natural feature over which both teams can kind of peek at each other and fight each other. And here off to the south you see that heavy tank pop up, a couple of medium tanks that aren't really giving us easy shots at them, and then another light tank down there. We have, what, 3 guys down south now. One guy's, that light tank is running around. Anyway, up in the far north we have a whole bunch of players, a whole bunch of vehicles, and so it looks like that's where the most of our success has taken place, which would suggest that the enemy team is weaker up there in the north and stronger in the south than they are in the north. And obviously we're stronger in the north than we are in the south, so I'm falling back for safety here. This is the point at which, more or less a minute ago there or whatever, when I started heading north, is when I recognized that it's going to be helpful for me just to come north. And here it probably would have been better for me, and in retrospect, been better for me to have kept going north instead of turning around right here. Kept going north, stayed low, gone over that final ridge there, and come out of harm's way, more or less. Nevertheless, instead I turned back. That medium autoloader up there that was spotting me up and targeting me didn't have as good of a shot on me as I kind of expected or was kind of thinking, which is why I turned around thinking that they're about to shoot me. And here they are. First couple of shots I think got in. I think if I had kept going north, I think that my enemy pressuring this medium would have prevented this medium from getting too many shots. I mean, maybe one or two, but anyway, I think I could have made it over. And here you're going to see I'm still in harm's way very much, trying to stay safe. I come up here looking for some cover, trying to escape their shots. Doing okay, not that great. They're just in really good positions relative to mine. to have shots on me, and you see that light tank firing at me, remaining hidden with the fire, damages my ammo rack. Finally, I managed to back up enough to make this turn and get away from them. At this point, I finally got my allies moved far enough south to help me out. So, where am I at here? Right in here, I think I could have maintained a sharper angle going south instead of kind of here roving out, flanking out wide. I'm just kind of trying to out-anticipate, if you will, out-anticipate anybody moving around this way, moving at this flank to kind of watch for me. Basically, just staying out extra wide in case anybody's doing that. Maybe that light tank way down there or something like that could have been coming way out this way, and so I was just trying to stay kind of play even farther out wide than I would have expected them to have played, trying to kind of outflank them. Trying to shoot the cheek there, and it doesn't go in. And then you can see there's a couple shots between that medium Pershing, I think it was. I just tracked just a little bit ago, and then earlier on in the match, the Centurion, when I was shooting it as it was cresting a hill, cresting a ridge. It seems like I could use a little bit faster aim time with this thing, maybe a little bit faster reload time. I need to get brothers in arms on the crew. I don't have brothers in arms on this crew yet. I think it would help both of those things, the aim time and the reload. Anyway. So yeah, pretty decent match here. It's certainly nothing amazing. But it's kind of a solid, basic match by a more common World of Tanks player about when it's helpful to make the decision and what you can look out for on the minimap to make the decision that it's time to fall back into ally support, time to fall back away from the enemy pressure. You know, stay safe, save hit points. It gave me an opportunity to stay alive, gave me an opportunity to be a threat to the enemy vehicles later on. Even if I got that extra kill there later on with the M103, but even if that hadn't have happened, you know, I still was a dangerous gun in the match, providing a threat, providing pressure, you know, making sure that my allies had that extra support going on their flank wherever they were at, that I was kind of supporting them from the flank position, rather than just not being on the match anymore, not being on the map anymore. Well, if you have any thoughts about how the gameplay could have been improved, any points at which I could have made different decisions that would have been better for me or for my team, please leave some comments. I definitely like to hear that kind of stuff. Otherwise, keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for taking a look at the World of Tanks video here, and thanks for playing World of Tanks.